Hello friends, namaskar. How are you? The topic of today is types of motivation. A very important topic. Uh, Always we say he is motivated, he is not motivated, he is demotivated. What is this motivation? I say the whole, drama, the whole life moves around this motivation factor. So today we will try to see what does motivation means and what are the types of motivations. Consider the following events. I am giving you two events, just think of that. A group of young women and men hold themselves out of a plane. Then as they fall towards earth, they join hands and form a circle. You might have seen number of times the people diving from the parachutes. Then as they fall towards earth, they join hands and form a circle. After that, they divide into pairs and swing round and round in a kind of dance. Only at the last minute do they open their parachutes and glide safely to the ground. This is the one incident. You might have seen number of times when you might have enjoyed the parachutes games. Number two, the second incident which I want to present, employees of a large company remain on strike for many weeks, despite the fact that no matter how large the settlement they ultimately win, it will not be enough to compensate for the wages and benefits they have lost during the strike. They are on the strike. No doubt about it, after the compromise, after solution meetings, they may get something, but will it be sufficient? Is it appropriate? So, these two incidents, I presented to you. Now, try to understand. An individual spends long hours working on completing a puzzles that require a great deal of concentration. He receives no reward for solving these puzzles. In fact, he is often frustrated by being unable to solve them. On a newspaper, you start solving puzzles, or even your hobbies there, you are not able to solve the problem, it creates frustration. If you are able to solve, you get the prize, you get some money or any reward, it is okay, but it is not giving you anything. Even you are frustrated, even then you are attempting those puzzles. Now, how can these actions be explained? You are attempting puzzles because even despite of frustration, they are on a strike, knowing fully well that they will not be compensated fully. On the face of it, they are puzzling. One answer to this question is this. What is the answer? Their actions occur because the persons involved are motivated to perform them. In other words, they are responding to their own motivation. Whatever the type of motivation, positive, negative, whatever it is, we respond to our motivation. My motivation is to solve the puzzle. I will do whether I am frustrated or I am able to solve or not. So, as I said, it all depends on your motivation. Now, what is motivation? The word motivation is derived from the Latin word mover, which means to move, to move. Motivation is what moves people, that pushes the people. That is why if we say layman, what is motivation? What they define? They say motivation is the force which takes the person towards the goal. Which takes the person towards goal means you are moving toward the goal. So, word motivation is derived from the word mover and which means move. Patre 1996 defined motivation as motivation is the process by which activities are started, directed and continued so that physical or psychological needs are met. Barron and Mishra 2022, very beautiful, very good books written by Barron and Professor Grishwar Mishra has come, and in that book they defined motivation as motivation is the internal process that activate, guide and maintain behavior over the time, which activates you, which gives you direction, guide and maintains your behavior to achieve the goal is your motivation. Now, what are different types of the motivation? There are different types of the motivation. Sometimes people are driven to do something because of an external reward of some sort or the avoidance of an unpleasant consequences, as when someone goes to work at a job to make money and avoid losing possessions such as house or a car. Motivation has been classified in number of ways. The first classification of motivation is as under, I have given actually two classifications. One is extrinsic and the other is intrinsic. Now, why we behave? Why towards the goal, move to the goal? Is there any outside forces, or there are some forces which are inside me? Nobody is checking me, but I am in the office in time because I am faithful to my duty. I am faithful to my nation. I want to avoid the unpleasant situation. If I am coming to my office late, I will be marked as absent. It is unpleasant, isn't it? To avoid that unpleasant situation, I am motivated to reach my office on time. It is avoiding of the unpleasant. I reach my office on time, I am a duty bound citizen. I do not want to waste any hour and minute of my nation. That is my intrinsic. Clear? So, it may be extrinsic, it may be intrinsic. Now, what is extrinsic? In extrinsic motivation, a person performs an action because it leads to an outcome that is separate from the person. Lehman and Venerio 2014, Ryan and Dickey 2000, they have defined like that. For example, giving a child money for every A received on a report card, offering a bonus to an employee for increased performance, or tipping a server in a restaurant for a good service. Now, if you say to the child, if you get A grade, I will give you a token money. I give you 100 rupees, you can enjoy with that 100, you can eat ice cream, you can go to a movie. So, that 100 rupees is the extrinsic, coming from the environment, external reward. You go to a restaurant, you know, a waiter, a boy, serving boy serves you very well. Then you give a tip, 50 rupees, 100 rupees, whatever capacity we have, whatever the bill we have, we give him that tip. Now, that tip motivates him to behave in the same manner with the next customer. Now, it is the external motivation, clear? It is not, it is his duty to serve you. It is his duty to talk you patiently, you know, to talk humbly. But if I am giving him money and to get that money, he is behaving in the same manner, it is an extrinsic reward. If you give this performance, you will get the bonus. It is extrinsic reward. So, any reward which is coming from the outside or from the environment will come in the category of the extrinsic reward. What is intrinsic? Intrinsic motivation is the type of motivation in which a person performs an action because the act itself is a fun, rewarding, challenging or satisfying in some internal manner. Individuals perform many activities simply because they find them enjoyable. Hobbies, government dining, love making are few of the actions that fit within the category. Such activities we perform because of the pleasure they yield, not because they lead to external rewards. Now, what is intrinsic? Intrinsic means which give you internal satisfaction, which gives you internal joy, which give you pleasure, which give you a sense of duty. I am doing my duty. I am a teacher. I am a teacher. If I take my class regularly because I feel satisfaction in teaching, teaching is my passion. If I do not teach for 7-8 days, you know, I am very uncomfortable. I teach you in the class because it gives me satisfaction, whether my head of department is looking to me, my vice chancellor is looking is on the round or not. It does not affect my on me, on my mental health, on my physical health. I will get pleasure in teaching you. This is intrinsic. I am taking class because of the fear of punishment. If vice chancellor or the head or the dean of the faculty comes on the round and he says I am not taking the class, I will be punished. If because of that fear of punish is a unpleasant. You see, in extrinsic I use the word to avoid unpleasant. If to avoid that punishment I take the class, that is extrinsic, but it gives me satisfaction, it is intrinsic. Clear? So, it is very, very clear where the output will be more when you are intrinsic motivation. Where you know you will be duty bound when the motivation is intrinsic. Somebody you have seen, you are young people, young boys. In some cities I have seen the boys, particularly in Jodhpur. Now the people are following the helmet rules. Earlier the people were not following because there was no strict punishment. You know, the young boys, they have helmets in the hand If the traffic police is there, they put the helmet on the heads. I am putting helmet because of the fear of the police, because there will be chalana 500, that is extrinsic. I will put helmet, it is the rule of my country, it will protect my head, clear. I will be duty bound citizen, it gives me satisfaction, whether police is there or not hardly matters to me, it is intrinsic. So, extrinsic external, intrinsic internal. So, I am sure with this example the concept of extrinsic and intrinsic is very clear to you. The second classification of the motivation, can be understood on two categories: inborn motivation and acquired motivation. The inborn motivations are called primary motives, the primary motive, the primary need, or the second acquired is called secondary motive. When I say primary, what do I mean primary? Primary means which must first be met. It is essential that that must be met. If there is something, some accident happens on the road, we take the injured people to the hospital, but before going to the hospital, we do the first aiding. We put the bandage if the blood is coming out, clear. We give the water if there is a dryness in the mouth, clear. This is the first aid. If you do not give the first aid, you reach the hospital after half an hour, the distance is long, then the blood will ooze out and the person may die. So, primary means which are essential for your survival, that is they are called primary motives. Why they are called inborn, we will talk about. So, let me start the primary motive. The motives which are found from the time of the birth are called inborn, which are with us from the inborn. They are, that moment I take the birth on the earth, they are with me. The examples of these motives are hunger, thirst, sleep, or the sex. These motives are essentials for survival, that is why they are called primary motives. These motives are governed by nervous system, as they are also called biological motives. These motives are also called inborn because they are found from the time of the birth, they are innate. These are, I will give you example when I explain hunger, they are governed by your nervous system, the body, that is why they are called as the biological motives also. That is necessary for the survival, they are called primary. They are essential for the life, clear. They are inborn, that is innate, they are called inborn. You see, hunger, when you feel hungry, does mother or the sister or the bhavi or the grandmother or the papa has to say eat the food? You just rush on the food. A small baby, when you put a bottle of milk, mother doesn't say beta take the milk. The child, the 1 month child starts sucking the bottle. Sleep, when a small baby, there is a need of the sleep, we sing a song, lori, you know, this is our love and affection to the child. Don't make any lori, don't sing any song. When the child feels a need, he will sleep. That is innate, that is inborn, clear. That is why these needs are called as the inborn or the primary needs. Secondary motives, motivations which facilitate the development of a person but are not necessary for his physical survival are called secondary motives. Examples: achievement, affiliation, or the autonomy. These motives one gets from the society, so they are called social motives. These motives are known by the name as acquired motives because one learns from the society. These motives are not inborn, they are acquired. Now, what is secondary? The second priority is second. If I get those motives, I will grow, not physically, psychologically I will grow. But if those motives are not met, I will not die. My physical survival will not finish. I will be able to live on the earth. I joined university as a lecturer, fine. If I do not get any promotion of associate professor, head, dean, I do not get any promotion, does not make any difference. I am getting 2 time meals, I am getting sound sleep, my physical needs are fulfilled, I will not die. But if I become reader in just 5 years, I become professor at early age, I will grow. Psychologically, it gives me satisfaction, clear. So, if these needs are met, it grows the person, but if they are not met, the physical survival is there, that remains, that not comes to the 0. That is why these motives are called as the secondary motives. So, number of examples can be there: achievement, affiliation, autonomy, aggression, dependency, independent, whatever. You can say number of examples, and there are more than 15. We will talk sometime when we will talk about the Murray. These, from where these motives are coming? Is achievement, is affiliation, is autonomy, independence coming from the biological system? It is coming from the society. It is coming from the society. Your father says, beta, work hard, work hard. If you become an IAS officer, if you become a professor, if you become a doctor, you become an engineer, society will salute you. That means he is making to learn the status, the status. He is making to achieve more, making you to learn to get more achievements in the life. So, the papa is telling you, you are learning from the papa. No, when you are child, papa says do this, do that. When you are a grown up child, you have done MA, you have done PhD, papa now what to do? What papa says? Now you are a grown up child, take your decision yourself. Why you are asking me? He is learning, he is putting independency in you. Now don't depend on me. Now society is making it to learn. So they are called as the social motives also. Clear? Why secondary? Because that is after the primary. Why social? They are coming from the society. Now I will explain one or two in a limited time of this motive. In physiological primary, innate, I have taken hunger. Some important types of motivations are presented here briefly. Hunger motivation. A Greek proverb states, you cannot reason with a hungry belly, it has no ears. This statement suggests eloquently that hunger motivation, the urge to obtain and consume food, is a powerful one. If you ever had the experience of going without food for even a single day, you know how strong feeling of hunger can be and what can be the powerful source of motivation they can provide. You are hungry for 24 hours, 2 days, 3 days, you think your condition. There is a very powerful motivation. I am taking your class from last 2 hours and there is no water. You can imagine my situation. So, just after class I will say give me a glass of water. So, it is a very powerful motivation because we can't survive without this. Now, why hunger? This motivation is there. One factor in hunger seems to be the insulin response. Now, I told you it is physiological. It is governed by biological system. That is, I am proving it by this illustration. One factor in hunger seems to be the insulin response that occurs when we begin to eat. Insulin and glycogen are hormones that are secreted by pancreas, that is an endocrine gland, pancreas, to control the levels of fats, proteins and carbohydrates in the whole body, including glucose, that is your blood sugar. While insulin reduces the level of glucose in the body, glycogen increases. Insulin is normally released in greater amount after eating has begun and causes a feeling of more hunger because of the drop in the blood sugar level. If there is a drop in the blood sugar level, you feel more hunger. Carbohydrates, especially those that are simple or highly refined, such as table sugar, fruit drinks, white flour, white bread or pasta, which young generation is very fond of, pasta, cause the insulin level to spike even more than other foods do because there is such an amount of glucose released by these food items at a time. High blood sugar leads to more insulin release, which leads to a low blood sugar level. So, increased appetite and the tendency to overeat. So, tendency to overeat or the increased appetite is governed by what? Your hormonal. So, hormonal is what? It is the biological system, pancreas, insulin. So, it governs your hunger motivation. I am giving you a latest finding. Recently, a hormone called leptin, is the name of the hormone called leptin, has been identified as one of the factors that seems to control appetite. When released in the bloodstream, leptin signals the hypothalamus that the body has had enough food, reducing appetite and increasing the feeling of being full or satiated. Clear? It will tell you that now you do not want to eat anything, there is a satiation. So, this one hormone has come which is known as the leptin. Now, what is the role of the hypothalamus? You know, again I told you the brain, the body system, the hypothalamus itself has different areas controlled by the levels of glucose and insulin of the body, which appear to control eating behavior. You have seen insulin, your control governs the eating behavior. The ventromedical hypothalamus, that is the part of the hypothalamus, the ventromedical hypothalamus may be involved in stopping the eating response when level of glucose goes up. Another part of the hypothalamus located on the side and called as the lateral hypothalamus seems to influence the onset of eating when insulin level goes up. So, when you want to eat, when you stop the eating, it depends on the hypothalamus. Now, you have seen hunger, we can explain like that: thirst, sleep, sex biologically, but because in the limited time I have taken one motive and try to make it clear that it is governed by the body system, that is why it is called physiological, biological or the innate. Now, in the secondary we have taken one motivation, achievement motivation. Achievement motivation is the desire to accomplish difficult task. What is achievement? Not easy task everybody can achieve. Achievement motivation is the desire to accomplish different tasks and to meet standards of excellence. Individuals differ greatly in the desire for achievement is obvious. For some persons, accomplishing difficult tasks and meeting high standards of excellence are extremely important. For others, just getting by it is quite enough. I am satisfied in this much is quite enough. Individuals high in achievement motivation tend to get higher grades in schools, even more rapid promotions, attain greater success in running their own business. They prefer tasks that are moderately difficult and challenging. Achievement motivation can be measured by TAT. Now, achievement. Easy tasks, you know, everybody can achieve. I say put here on the table, everybody can put. If you ask me, put on the top of the roof and there are obstacles, now that is a difficult task. Now, it depends on the person. You want to achieve the easy task or the hard task. A student says, okay, if I am getting first division 60%, it is more than enough for me. You know, one line, first division. The second says, no, I want higher grades. If I get 90%, 90th percentile, 94th percentile, I may go out of the India, I may go to the USA for the higher studies. No, his motivation is to get higher marks and higher achievement, and other student is satisfied in the 60%. Now, is it objective or subjective? Subjective. Is it governed by your brain? It is governed by the society. He says, I have a big factory, my papa is a businessman. So, just if I am BA first class, it is quite decorative degree for my marriage enough. But if a person wants to achieve, he say, no, I want to get more. I will publish more papers so that I may get the promotion earlier. So, this is your achievement, and this achievement motivation can be measured by TAT. What is TAT? TAT, you know, is a test that is called thematic or perception test. It was made by Morgan and Murray. Now, there are pictures and you have to write the stories. You are write total 20 stories, and on the basis of analysis of that stories, we interpret your motivation, your personality. Now, I want to show demonstrate it. For example, on the first card there is a boy with a violin in his hand. I asked you to write a story, what led to the event, what is happening now, and what will be the outcome of the story. Now, I am making a story. The boy participated in a musical competition, but could not get through. Now, he is thinking that from where to get the training, and I should have a new violin so that I may get the first reward in the next competition in 2024. he asked his papa that send me some good musical institution and give me a brand new violin so that I may get the first prize in my next competition. Now, papa supported him, sent to the institution, he worked hard, putting full energy the whole year, and next year he got the prize. Now, this story tells me his achievement need was higher. I may write the story. The boy asked papa, the papa said, no, study. He said, okay, I am leaving this music. Now, this is coming from the society. So, by TAT even you can measure the achievement. And other motive is motive of aggression. Aggression motivation is the desire to inflict harm on others. While human beings don't always express aggressive motivation overtly, they often do engage in various forms of aggression against others, efforts to harm in some manners. The roots of aggression, innate or learned. Is aggression an inherited human tendency? After witnessing the horrible carnage the World War I, Freud concluded that human beings possess a powerful built-in tendency to harm others. While this view has been shared by many other scientists, for example, Lawrence, the famous ethnologist, but it is not widely accepted by the psychologist. I have taken aggression for a particular purpose. Why? Aggression, some people say it is innate, some people say no, it is from the society. So, there is a controversy on that, but we assume aggression as a secondary. Aggressive motivation may stem from the actions of another person. When aggression comes, when somebody frustrates you, when somebody abuses me, I may be aggressive. Somebody beats me, I may become aggressive. Aggressive motive may stem from the actions of another person. Frustration may be one of the causes. Frustration may be one of the cause according to Dollard and others. Researches show that frustration is just one of many different social causes of the aggression. Some recent findings suggest that sex hormones, especially the male sex hormone testosterone, may play in the role of aggression when it talks about the sexually. So, these are some of the motives which we have in us. So, our behavior is governed by our motives, whether biological or the social motive. Biological motives are essential for your physical survival, and social motive, the secondary motives are essential for our psychological survival. For psychological survival means for our potential growth, for our autonomy, for our self-actualization. So, these were some of the types of motives which we talked about today.